All right. Hopefully a couple more girls jump on. I say this every week, but I really want to get better at starting right at 7. So because we do only have the 40-minute limit Zoom still, which I think is plenty of time. I just don't want to keep getting cut off right at the end. But I know we waste like 5 minutes in the beginning just waiting for everyone to jump on. So when you're watching the replay, let's all start jumping on at 7 just so we can really maximize our time. I guess it's not 7 where everyone else is, but whatever time it is in your time zone. So tonight I actually have a PowerPoint presentation slide because I just found out yesterday that I am actually giving a 20-minute presentation in Denver on Saturday at Super Saturday. And I thought I was just doing like a Q&A panel. And then she's like, have your slides to us by Thursday. And I was like, what slides? Like, I thought we were just doing Q&A panel. And I did not know I had a 20-minute presentation to give. But I'm super excited. So I kind of started the presentation today. So I'm going to go through it with you guys because I want your feedback and it's good learning for you anyways. And we can kind of just have an open discussion at the end. I'm not going to go through like the whole beginning with you guys because it's basically just saying who I am and my story, and you guys all probably have heard that 1,000 times by now. But I am going to go through the content, and then like I was just telling Jesse, it's not 100% finished because I haven't had to make a PowerPoint since like college. So maybe in my job I did, but I had to re-download PowerPoint. It's like all new from what I was used to. It's a lot nicer now, but it's not totally finished. So, but I'll go through the content with you guys. So we will get started. Let me pull up this. Hi, Megan. Oh, that's Jesse's Megan. Hi, Megan. Nice to meet you. I don't know if you can hear me. Megan, can you hear me? I think it might be frozen. Well, welcome, Megan. I'm excited to have you as part of our team, if you can hear me. We are just going to go through a little presentation. So let me share my screen. I don't want you to see that part yet. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, why is it like this? I just want to play regularly. I told you I don't know this yet. I thought I could just hit this. When I pull that up, do you guys see just the slide or do you see all this black stuff too? Let me unmute someone. Bridget, do you see just the blue slide or do you see all the black stuff with like notes?
I see all of it.
If
you go to slideshow or start slideshow, it might say from current slide. You can try that.
Yeah, why
I don't know.
This black stuff? Let me try to do this.
There you go. That's it.
That works? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome, guys. My name is Emily. Okay, skipping that part. And then, okay, how do I go to next now?
Emily, hit enter. Yeah, there you go.
Got it. All right, so I'm obviously going to tell them a little bit about myself, who I am. Hi, Holly.
Hey.
Hi, Emily. Emily, I wish you could come to the Colorado Super Saturday. This is what I'm going through right now. So I'm speaking at Colorado Super Saturday, so I'm kind of giving you guys a preview of my slides and then going to ask for feedback on the content, and then it's like a whole teaching thing for you guys in the process. So I don't need to go through my story with you guys, but basically I'm going to go through my cookie cutter story that you guys have heard a million times, that I went to high school, went to college, thought I was living this perfect dream life from the outside looking in. That's what it looked like. The picture on the left is me getting my master's degree. And then I'll obviously say I'm engaged, I'm a dog mom, just give them a little bit of background about me because a lot of these girls are gonna have no idea who I am. So the point of my presentation is really going to be, they're showing me as like an up and coming leader, so I can be someone that can relate to them, just like I can relate to you guys. I'm not going to be some like 15-star diamond coach up there who they can't relate to, who maybe had success in the business years ago and all that. So I'm going to show them exactly what I'm doing to grow my business in the current time right now, and they can relate to me a little more closely than someone who has like major success in the business so far. So give them my story, and then I'm going to go into reasons that I should not have been successful at this, that I should have quit, that I should have given up. And maybe some of you guys don't even know some of this stuff. So when I first started coaching, Holly will remember all this, but when I first started coaching, I started in like November-ish and kind of started, and then December, and then in January, I was like, okay, Holly, I'm going to do this. Like I signed up for the Success Club trip, all this. And then I had a major hernia surgery and a major hip surgery, and I could not exercise for months, and I was bedridden. And a lot of people probably at that time would have been like, all right, I can't exercise, I can't coach, like this is the end of my journey for me. Whereas I was like, okay, this sucks. Like I remember telling Holly, like, this really sucks. Like, what am I supposed to do now? But I was like, all right, well, the plus side of it is I'm in bed for like 3 weeks. So I'm just going to listen to all the national wake up calls and like learn how to run this business. So that was reason number one. You can like see the pictures over there. And then two, I say no upline support. I love Holly, obviously, but Holly and I don't have like a ton of systems to plug into from like, okay, I don't want this to sound bad, from Ashley and Jackie and stuff, but I love them as people, but they're not like currently running a ton of groups or like team trainings or all this stuff, at least at the time of when I was starting. And I was like, at the beginning, I just contacted Holly, and Holly and I talked, and she helped me through everything. But then Holly and I have kind of figured this out together, and we're both on the inside dead leg of a third CBC. So we do not get any volume added to us. So basically that means we're building a lot of this ourselves. So Holly and I kind of did this together, and we're just both kind of learning as we go. So we don't have all these systems to plug into and everything. What else? I said no, or I found a group of Facebook friends making fun of me. Some of you have probably heard this story. This was about a year, or no, like probably 10 or so months into coaching. And I found a private Facebook group of all of a good amount of my college friends completely making fun of me, like totally derailed me for a little bit. I mean, I kept working every day, but it clearly upset me. There was like memes of me. There was screenshots of my post with stuff written all over it, like pyramid scheme and 401k question mark because I had quit my job. All of this really mean stuff. Like pretty much every picture I posted for a couple months was somehow turned into a meme. And it was extremely rude, extremely like people who I thought were my good friends, all this crap. So I had a lot of stuff happen that I could have just thrown in the towel and been like, nope, this is not working. This isn't for me. Like all these people are making fun of me, but they're all things I've had to overcome. And then, as Holly probably remembers too, when she first asked me, I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm too busy. Like I'm working full time. I am going to school full time. I just got a puppy. We're moving across town. Like I can't add another thing to my plate right now. And eventually I like kept stalking Holly, and I was like, okay, like I need to do this and tell me what to do. But I was very busy starting. So a lot of those reasons are reasons that I shouldn't have been successful, but we can always turn those reasons into reasons why we need to be successful in our terms of successful. So then I'm going to give them just like a little glimpse of where I am right now. I think I see a chat. Let me see what that is real quick. Oh yeah, Amber, trust me, girl, I can tell you all freaking about it. Like, a story for another time, but it's bad, but like now I'm like, whatever, like look at me now. Kind of. So have to put the income disclaimer in here since I show them my income, but I do just want to give them a real life example. And I always tell people, and people have commented on this and like messaged me about this, of like, thank you for being so real. Thank you for showing your income to show that this can be a real thing. Like people who don't even want to do this at all, but they're like, you're the only person I've seen do this that shares your income, because I want to show the real possibility of what this can turn into. So I just want to give them a little glimpse of where I'm at now, like I said, because a lot of them don't know me at all, and I want them to listen to my presentation and show that I do know what I'm doing. So I say I'm 2-star 2018 Premier Success Club 10 Legend, which means you're in Success Club 10 for over 24 months. So I just hit 27 months. And my SE average for like this whole past year has been around 40-ish. And then I just give them my income progression. I'm going to go a little bit into my story of I worked in corporate America. I quit that and moved to Colorado and worked as a cashier for a year and a half. Slowly cut down my hours, and now officially as of last month, I am a full-time coach matching what I was making in corporate America. So next slide. Okay, and then I just thought this one was really fun. I went back and scrolled back through my Instagram to find some pictures today. That picture on the left is like January 2016 of my current Instagram. That is my Instagram. Like if you scroll that far back, that is my Instagram, guys. That month though, I hit Success Club, what is it? I have it written over there, 11. So like it looks horrible, guys. Like I would never, ever, ever have that anymore. Look how bad it looks. I had quotes all over everything, words all over everything. Like I had no idea what I was doing, but I was excited. I had Holly to support me. I had the team. I was excited. I was just like, my life is changing. Like I'm doing personal development. I'm doing these workouts. Like I was just simply excited. And that's all you need to start. You do not need a fancy Instagram or like, okay, now we can teach you and train you. And like, I would tell you, hey, that probably doesn't look that great. But at the time, I mean, and that was kind of like the trend back then of Instagram. But looking back now, I'm just like, that looks like a mess. But I want to show you guys that we all start somewhere. Like that was my Instagram. I have like Pediasure Attention Moms. I don't know what I was doing, but you can clearly see like, Holly's laughing. You can clearly like see how far I've come in the meantime to what my Instagram looks now. Which I'm not, hey, maybe in like 2 more years, I'll be like, what was that? But it does look a lot cleaner and like more professional than the one on the left. So then my topic is kind of going to be the one thing that changed my business. I can't get this next slide to work yet, so if anyone's good at animations, if you can help me. I want these all to like pop up one at a time, and I just like can't figure it out. But I'm going to talk about, okay, has anyone ever searched for that one thing to change their business? Because my story is I do not have some like viral post that made me successful. I do not have like, what was I gonna say? I do not have a fast success story. Like there are girls in this business. I watched a video of today of a girl went from emerald to elite in her first year of coaching. Like that is not my story. When I started, I did not have like a rock star coach that blew up and we grew together and all this stuff. Like I have worked extremely hard for where I've gotten this business, and I am over 2 years in, and like I'm nowhere close to where I thought I would be 2 years in. Like I remember I told my dad, like, I'm quitting my job and just watch me in 2 years, I'm gonna be making 6 figures and all this stuff. Guess that didn't happen, and that was a little bit of a shock to me, and I had to adjust. But everything I'm showing you guys today is just consistency, intensity, and time over and over and over and over again. So throughout these 2 years, I've had many moments myself where I've been like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why is my business not blowing up like Bonnie Angles? Like, why is my business not taking off from Emerald to Elite in 1 year? Like, what am I possibly doing wrong in my business? So I searched and I searched and I searched. What's like the one book that's the secret to success in this business? Like, maybe if I just have one Facebook ad that is really good and gets all these coaches, or what if there's like one training video out there that Sarah, thank you, says she can help me with the animation. What if there's that one training video out there that's just going to change and flick the lights for me and everything's going to blow up from there? Maybe there's this, like, what are these top coaches sending in their messages and their scripts that's different than mine? I had all these thoughts, and I'm just like, okay, there has to be some secret out there. Like, everyone says there's no secret to success, but like, there has to be something out there. The one is, I got one animation to work, the one Instagram training. So then I'm going to talk to them about there really is no one secret to success. And guys, we've heard this time and time again. And when I was asked to speak at this event, and even last night, I was like, I have to give a presentation now. Like, what am I going to talk about? I don't feel like I have an expertise in this business. Like, some people are really great recruiters. Some people are really great at mentoring. Some people are really, like Crystal is great at Instagram training. Ashley is great at talking about personal development. Like, some of these coaches have these one things that they're really great at. And I got to thinking, and all these limiting beliefs come in my head. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what am I going to talk about? And the thing that I came up with is there's not one thing. I have put the work in, and this goes the whole way back from when I was working 50 hours a week full time and getting my MBA and doing all these things, but I still put that work in that I could at that time to grow my business and learn. And really, there is no one secret to success. What is my next slide? There we go. So this slide is extremely overwhelming, and I don't expect anyone to read any of it, but that's kind of my point of it. So I'm going to go through and say, what is the one book that helped me be successful? And I'm going to say it was You Are a Badass. It was Get Over Your Damn Self. It was The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. It was May Cause Miracles. It was The Universe Has Your Back. The point is, and I know I'm going to see people jotting down notes, the point is, that's not the point. Like, the point is I read all of those books, and maybe I took a little tidbit from one and a little tidbit from the other, but there's not one book that has changed my business. It's all the books that I read. It's the PD that I've done every single day for over 2 years now. It's not one conference that I've went to. It's a bunch of conferences. It's, sorry.
There we go. Come on.
Oh, that's Sarah with her dog. It's investing in your business. It's the 9 Super Saturdays that I've been at so far. I just added those up, and I was like, holy crap, I've been to 9 Super Saturdays and 2 summits and Platinum Edge and all these things to learn all these trainings, but then it's also implementing. And then I'll just read through some of these things, but it's going to every Super Saturday event. It's watching YouTube videos to learn things on my own. It's not just saying I'm going to do 3 invites or 5 invites or 10 invites. It's actually doing them every single day. I can tell you guys honestly, in my first year of coaching, I could count on one hand how many power hours I missed in my entire first year of coaching. And it's hard for me to remember back now, but I'm pretty sure I did them Monday through Saturday and then took Sundays off because I knew I wanted to grow my business. And I don't even know if I took Sundays off at that point because I was so busy during the week that Saturday and Sunday were sometimes my catch-up days. Now, yes, it is so important to have balance, and I really, really recommend that. So it may have been like an hour of a power hour on a Sunday. That's just what I did. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but I can honestly say I did not miss more than 4, probably not even 5 power hours in my first year of coaching. And then my second year, I could probably say the same thing. I might have missed a handful my second year, but I've also like tripled what I was doing numbers wise. It's not letting one no get in your way. And then I still have all these books. I need to, like I said, I'm practicing. I'm going to phrase those like read all the books at once, say all the things at once. It's finding my niche or niche, however you say it, and speaking to them. It's banging off my head off the wall with my pen and paper follow-up system that I used for way too long and finally switching to Streak. It's the tears when someone you love quits. Like, I've worked with a lot of people really closely, invested my heart into them, and then out of nowhere they quit, and that happens. That's business. It's all of the national wake-up calls. Is listening to podcasts in the car every time I drive instead of listening to the radio. It's picking colors for your brand. It's talking to 3 to 5 or 10 or 20 new people a day. It's making your Instagram more visual. It's learning Instagram stories. It's learning Facebook ads. And the point of all of that, just like I said not to write the books down, is to not write all of that down either, because I had to grow with that. Like, you guys saw my Instagram when I started. I clearly didn't have a great Instagram or know how to do that right out of my coaching womb, but I just really started growing my Instagram a couple months ago. It's all these things that you just do little by little by little over time in doing the daily vitals every single day. Okay. So then I'm going to go into, that's like my kind of my topic, but they really want me to get into like some technical stuff too of like, okay, how, not just inspirational, but like, how are you growing your business? And I think before I go into that, it's really important to show that you have to dream big. Like, once I saw the vision and once I saw what was possible, and that was really just by listening to national wake-up calls. And then I followed some other coaches and started to see, oh my gosh, like they make a full-time income from this, or they make more than what I'm making in corporate America, like twice or 3 times more. And they're staying home with their kids. Like, once I caught that vision, and then I like saw Holly on the Success Club trip, and I was like, I want this to be my work. Like, you can go on vacations with fitness people and work out on a cruise ship, and that's your job. Like, once I saw the vision of this and realized, okay, this is what I've been missing, I started dreaming big, and I never looked back, honestly. Like, I know a lot of coaches have like days where they want to quit, or even like top coaches will be like, yeah, there was this one time I almost quit. And I can honestly tell you guys, yes, there's been times I've been frustrated. Yes, there's been times I've been in tears, but there has not been a single day where I've been like, I think I'm going to quit, or I don't think this is for me, because I know it is. I just need to make it work. Like, I know this is what I want to do. I just need to make it work and go for it. So there was no, I originally had written on here that no plan B. And then I was like, isn't that the like pregnancy thing? Like, I probably should not have that as a slide. So I took that out. But there really is no other option for me. Like, I don't want to go back and sit in a cubicle for 50 hours a week. That was not how I wanted to live my life. So I just decided I'm going to make this work. So I have this vision board. We made these as a team back in January. But I have this vision board hanging behind me. I don't think you guys can see my screen anymore, but hanging behind me in my office. I have it in a little like hand-sized one sitting on my desk. I literally look at this every single morning and look at it, say my affirmations. I just think it's really important to allow yourself to dream big. Like, some of this stuff I'm nowhere close to yet. But I'm nowhere close to buying another car right now. We have a lot of things we need to do before we buy another car, but it's on my vision board. And I think it's really important to allow yourself to dream big and look at those goals every single day. Look at your vision every single day. Read your affirmations every single day. Josh actually has me reading my affirmations 3 times a day right now and listening to like 2 or 3 hours of personal development. And I just like listen to it while I work all day. But those are the things that, because I've said to him, like, I still have those thoughts, like, what am I missing? Like, why am I not growing faster? All these things. And he's like, just up your personal development. I'm like, really? Like, I pay you to tell me to up my personal development, but he's so right. Like, it really is a mindset thing. All right. So then I'm going to get into how I actually grow my business day by day so they can see the technical stuff. And this is what I kind of want your opinions on, because this is where the part of me is like, Well, I feel like everyone should know this already, and I don't want to just give them stuff that they already know. But at the same time, people probably aren't doing it also, so we can go through it and see if it's helpful. You guys are definitely already going to know it because I teach you, and this is what I teach you. But we'll just open it up for Q&A at the end. So the first thing really is I do my vitals every day. I use the business activity tracker. Like, I've used the business activity tracker since February of 2016. Mine looks different now, but that's how I started. So when I started, I was doing 5 new conversations a day and 3 invites a day, probably for the first year and a half of my business. That's what I did. Now, I would have upped those if I knew to, but I just was like, oh, I'll keep doing that and build a website and do all this fun stuff. And now I teach you guys, don't do that fun stuff, just up your numbers. So now that looks different. I'm in a different phase of life. Now I do 20 new conversations a day and 10 new invites a day, but I take my weekends completely off now for the most part. If you guys need help, if I see a message from you guys, sometimes I answer. Sometimes I don't answer you until Monday. So that's just my phase of life right now. I definitely think work-life balance is extremely important. But like I said, when I wanted to quit my job, weekends were more of my work time. But now that I do this full time, I'm back to, okay, I'm not going to work weekends now and go out and explore. But really, it all just comes down to doing the vital behaviors. Okay, Google Streak. I know a ton of you have been asking me about this, so here is my streak. I am not going to go into how to set up Streak. You can YouTube a video on that. There's a million out there. But it's really simple. And I will caution you, I've told this to everyone that I've showed this to, my Google Streak is extremely overwhelming. Yours does not have to have this many stages. I'm a very visual person. I really like to see it all laid out in all the stages, but you can literally have 5 stages in here. Step 1, holy crap, we're at 10 minutes already. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Now I have in there step 1 follow-up, step 1 follow-up if they're in Business Messenger, step 2 follow-up, step 2 follow-up in Messenger, and you can see it's like a rainbow. But I go through those 5 steps. And then that just shows the rest of it. That is my coaching steps. So I have coaching, I sent them a webinar, I sent them the application, and then that shows the rest of my challenge group steps. And then I will get into follow-ups in a little bit here. And then I just really show them what I'm doing every day. Here is the 2 examples of the 20 conversations I start a day. I showed you guys that keyboard shortcut. So I have these in my keyboard shortcuts. So I find the people I want to message. The one on the right is someone who followed me. So I say, hey, just a quick message. Thank you for following me, blah, blah, blah. We can read that later. Always end with a question. And then the one on the left, I'm actually tracking where I'm finding everyone. So I know this one is my people I find from the TIU Bride hashtag, because it says, hey, I see you're engaged and also into fitness. Do you have a wedding date yet? And I know with that message that I have in my keyboard shortcuts, when I go back and track that person, that they came from TIU Bride hashtag. And that's just something I've recently been working on. But this is just an example of conversations that I'm starting with people. These are just invite examples. So I'm not going to read all these right now just for the sake of time, but I'm literally just showing them I do the work every day. I send at least 10 of these every single day. My success has nothing to do with what I'm saying or some secret message or some secret script. It's the fact that I send 10 a day. So someone's eventually going to say yes. And if they say no, it's normally not right now, and I follow back up with them. I'm going to tell them about third-party tools. So you guys know all about this. I send them a video to give them information on my challenge group. I'm also going to put the video in here of Beachbody's annual all-access video for BOD, just to tell them to use third-party tools so we're not word vomiting all over people. And then I go through my stages with them. So you guys should know my stages. Step 1 is invite. So I personally don't track anyone that I'm just messaging and forming a relationship with, unless I see a ton of potential in them. I put them in my dream list of coaches. You can see that in that stage there, but I don't sit there and track the 20 people I message, just because to me that's not time efficient. So I track them once I invite them. So then they go into my Google Streak. Then they fill out a survey with their goals. Once they get that back to me, I recommend a program to them. Then we talk about Shakeology. Then they order, etc. And then I'm also doing these in conjunction now, as you guys know, with our sneak peek group. So I also be like, what's your email? Because I want all of their emails, because that's the easiest way for me to keep track, follow up, and social media could disappear someday. So I want their emails. But then I'm also putting them in the sneak peek group for more information. This is my follow-up system. So I have a Google Drive, you guys have access to it, with how I do all my follow-ups and exactly what I say. And I'm kind of a follow-up crazy person. If they don't answer me in 2 days, they get a nice follow-up message from me. Hey, just wanted to check in, etc. If they still don't answer me in 2 days, because that's an email, I go back to Messenger. Hey, did you get my email? Blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they just straight up didn't get it. And that's like problem with email, but whatever. And then I go to a chorus of follow-up. So I do 2 days. And then if they still don't answer, I put them into 1 week later. And then I send the message. I'm like, hey, I know you were excited to get started. Like, blah, blah, blah. You can read it in there. And then if they still don't answer that, they go to 2 week follow-up, 3 week follow-up, 4 week follow-up. And then if they still don't answer that, they go into a monthly follow-up that I have, where they just get an email from me once a month, checking in, seeing how they're doing. But that way, no one gets left behind. Like, no challenger left behind, no coach left behind. Like, I know where every single person is in my streak and what stage they are in. I'm not done with my slides yet, but that was the end of the slides because I need to finish them. Okay, I really just want to open this up for feedback real quick, since somehow we're already down to 5 minutes. I'm clearly going to need to like cut that a little bit because you guys know I can talk a lot. Let me unmute all of you and just give me honest feedback, or just unmute yourselves. But like, what else should I add to that to make it beneficial for them? Like, was that just stuff you guys already knew and you're like, yeah, I know all this already? Or just give me feedback.
I think it was helpful, to maybe, I thought the second half of it was most helpful in regards to showing just how simple it is to send out messages. I think sometimes people can get really intimidated by that, or just like overthink it. And really, like, it's just a matter of just sending like a quick message. So I think that, and like saving it in your keyboard so that you're not like typing it out. And I've been trying to do that more. And honestly, like, the last 2 weeks with my new puppy here have been, like, I've gotten off track with my business, and I was doing really good. And so like, I just gotta kind of work on that again. But I think it was like a good reminder of like, not even spending time writing a list of the 10 new conversations you do. Instead, just like check off like, okay, 10 check marks so that you know you did it, right. But not necessarily do their names. But I need to really get onto like Google Streak and get people's emails, because I lose too many messages in Facebook Messenger.
Google Streak saves me.
Yeah, and like, I'm very much like you with organization, so I know that I would like it. So I just gotta set it up.
Yep.
I think it's important too, and I don't know if it was in your notes or if
I
you
was
added
going to
it
say,
on.
I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think there's some lagging.
No,
I think
sorry, Ted. I think I'm frozen. I don't know. Go ahead.
You are frozen now. Okay. I was just going to say, I don't know if it was in your notes or not, but I think it was important when you said about how, like, at first I was doing 5 invites a day, but like, then a year into my business, I was doing 10, and now I'm doing 20 to 30. Like, I think those numbers are important for people to see that, like, yeah, it's okay when you're working full time and in grad school if your numbers are at 5 a day, but like, if you want to grow the business, then like, that's what you've got to do, is up those numbers.
Yeah, and like, even at the time when I was doing those, I'll say this too, like, I was still hitting over Success Club 10 because I did it every day. Like, yeah, my Success Club numbers have grown now, but I'm messaging more people, but it's the same activities, just still consistent. Go ahead, Holly.
I was just going to say that I know at the beginning you said you may already know this or this may be too basic, but I think it's a good reminder to show that this business really is simple, but it really just does come down to daily consistent habits. And you are just showing, guys, this is what I do every day. There's no magic sauce. There's no magic script. You know, I've had someone say, I wonder what Emily does to get these high success club points. You know, I wonder what her trick is, you know? So I think it's good for you to show and just share. There is no trick. It's just, you just put in the time, you put in the work, and it's over time, it grows. So I think that's important. So I loved it.
Thank you. I just feel like it's so basic. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going and it's just like, here it is, like stuff you already know, but maybe that's like the point, kind of.
Yeah. And it's inspiring because it's like, oh yeah, I know all this. This is basic. I need to get down to business. Like, you know, that's a good reminder, I think.
Bridget, were you going to say something?
I was going to agree with Holly that it's basic, but I think it just brings those reminders to the forefront of what needs to be done every day to get it done. And one thing I was thinking as you were talking is when you're doing your new combos and when you're doing your invites, you're bringing those from the people that are liking your post or following you on Instagram, right?
Yep.
And I don't think you need to add that, but I was just double checking that that's what you're doing.
We're under a minute, but I can jump back on. Like, I have 20 more minutes if you guys want to do some Q&A, 10 minutes, whatever, and keep going. Do you guys want to just use the same link and jump back on when this ends?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'll just end this one real quick and just jump back on the same link, and it will just give us another 40 minutes.
Okay.
We won't spend that whole time, though. 20 max.